Welcome back to Takeout. Thanks for hanging out with us. While Democrats in Maine figure out, and they're working on that day by day, their replacement for Graham Platner in the Senate race, they're also looking to hold on to retiring Congressman Jared Golden's House seat. Maine Senate Auditor Matt Dunlap won the party's primary last month after 2 rounds of ranked choice voting. He will face Maine's former Republican governor, Paul LePage, who ran unopposed for the GOP nomination. Matt Dunlap joins me now. Matt, it's great to have you on the program. I appreciate the time. First of all, Jared Golden ran as a moderate and operated in the House as a moderate. You're a progressive. Republicans think they can metaphorically carve you up and win that seat between now and Election Day. Why can't they?
Well, because I think I'm a really good fit for this district. And that's one of the things that people approach me with is that my background, 8 years in the legislature, 14 years as Secretary of State, and now 6 years as state auditor, it gives me a depth and breadth of experience, but also my background in the second district. I grew up on a farm on the coast of Maine, right near Bar Harbor. I've worked 2 full-time jobs like a lot of other people have. I'm a lifetime sportsman. So I identify very closely with just about everyone in the state, and I would feel welcome in any town in the state. So I think my background and the way that I've worked with people over the last 30 years, helping them find common solutions to common problems, I try to avoid, if I can, the labels of moderate, conservative, progressive. I'm not running as any of those things. I'm running as Matt Dunlap. And my neighbors know me and trust me. And that's why people approach me to run in the first place.
Matt, what's your back of the envelope summary of the Graham Platner implosion?
Well, it's hard to say because we've been very focused on our race. But I think really what it boiled down to is that Graham Platner was not well vetted. He knew his background. I think maybe he thought those things would not matter very much. When I first ran for office, I had thought back on my own lifetime, and turned out my life's been pretty boring. I don't have any of the same challenges that Mr. Platner's had. When all these revelations really exploded on the scene about a week ago, we called on him to step down from the race. He has done that, and now they're going through the process to
Do
replace
you
him.
personally, Matt,
It,
feel deceived because you endorsed him?
Well, I think deceived is a strong word. I think maybe if anybody was deceived there, I think Graham Plattner may have deceived himself. We just didn't know. We didn't know what his background consisted of. He was talking about the same issues that I've been talking about healthcare for all, Medicare for all, the affordability crisis, and how the playing field has been tilted against working families now over the last 50 years. So we shared that message, and something that I've seen get worse over the last 30, 40 years, not get better. So in terms of Mr. Plattner, he's out of the race. He's not part of the campaign anymore. And I think it's sort of the lesson for us is to stay focused and disciplined on what we're hearing from people, and staying focused on bringing those solutions to their doorsteps.
Matt, let me ask you about what happened recently in Maine with the ICE shooting in Biddeford.
Mm.
What is your attitude about what you know? What do you want to find out? And what will your attitude about ICE funding be if you are elected to the House?
Well, ICE is a law enforcement agency like any law enforcement agency. And I think what we're very proud of here in Maine is how our own law enforcement agencies have become such incredibly important parts of our communities. And that's just not local law enforcement, that's statewide law enforcement organizations such as, the Maine Warden Service, State Police, Marine Patrol. And I think, they need to be held accountable as any law enforcement agency is accountable to the public. What's happened here is absolutely tragic in terms of, how we oversee immigration and customs enforcement going forward. It does need oversight, and that's something that Congress has not been doing. Instead, they've just given them a blank check. And I think in the previous segment, we heard about some of the problems that have emerged there. And as a member of Congress, I would certainly want answers to what happened here this week in Biddeford, Maine.
So oversight for ICE, not abolish ICE.
No, it's a law enforcement agency. It should be treated as such. And frankly, I think one point that we have to remember is that people who come here illegally have, in fact, broken the law and are accountable to law as anyone is accountable to the law. So I don't think anyone gets a free pass. We are a nation of laws, and those need to be upheld. More importantly than what the conduct of ICE is and whether or not they should exist, we really need to really work on our broken immigration system so that people in Maine, we're a border state, and I think people in Maine and across the country have a right to know and understand and accept what it means to come to this country to work, to study, or to become a citizen. It's very murky right now. I think Congress needs to do some hard work there.
Matt Dunlap, I appreciate the time. Thank you.